This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
And a wet start to our week this Monday, July 18th. But we need it. A special weather statement is in effect. 25 to 50 millimeters of rain expected for today. So if you're like Mark and really kicking off your holidays, yes, it's a little wet today, but it's going to get nicer as the week continues. And as I said, many lawns, gardens, and crops in the area drinking this up today, or hopefully will be, because it's been a long time since we've had rain. So we'll take it today and then enjoy the rest of the week. Thankfully, though, the weekend, no rain. It was a beautiful weekend. It was hot, sunny, your typical July weekend. And we saw the return of Empire Rockfest. So a big weekend here in Belleville, and we're going to get into that in a little more depth coming up. Andy Forgie, one of the organizers of Empire Rockfest, joined us this morning to give us a recap, some of the behind the scenes conversations that were going on. So we'll get into that coming up. Huge weekend here in Belleville. But going on in Trenton, their Festival on the Bay was this weekend, really highlighted by an epic fireworks show. We had Mark Phillips on last week from Mystical Distributing, who really promoted it as the biggest fireworks show you will see in this area. You have seen in this area, along with a drone show. And he really set the bar high. So both Mark and I, at the end of the week, were kind of thinking, oh, okay, he said it was going to be big. Let's take it in. I know Mark and his wife went. We went with our kids. Our family went and enjoyed. And we were not disappointed. Mark Phillips was absolutely right. It was stunning. It was incredible, spectacular, amazing. Incredible. They started off with a drone show, and even after Mark's explanation as to what or how the drones were going to be used, I really didn't know what to expect. It was awesome. They came up. I'll be honest, it was a little creepy actually when they started, because you see them, they had a few fireworks go off to tell you the show was going to start. So everybody took their seats and calmed down. And then these lights rose up. If you're familiar with Spider-Man No Way Home, or not No Way Home, Far From Home, one of the final scenes where the drones are used to create these illusions, that's kind of what it looked like. These drones came up, but instead of creating an illusion, they formed different shapes in the sky. The Canadian flag, a soldier saluting, one of the planes that we quite often see, one of the Hercules that circle around coming through the sky in different colors. For Mayor Harrison, of course, it spelled out Cooney West is best, which was great to see. I took a picture of that and sent that directly to him. But an incredible show. The drones were so cool. Had never seen anything like that. And then, of course, the fireworks display begins. It was about 15 minutes nonstop of these beautiful, incredible fireworks. And as I found out later, the company that Mark brought in, that Mark works with, actually does Super Bowl fireworks too. So you can imagine the scale, the quality of fireworks that were being fired off. It was quite the show, and I look forward to hopefully it happening again. But if you weren't able to be there in person, I know people were live streaming it. I do know that our inquinty.ca website has a video of the show, so you can check it out there. And of course, tons of pictures across social media on our Facebook page, my own personal Facebook page, Charity Brown. You can have a look for yourself and enjoy. So that was going on in Trenton, and continuing actually in Trenton is their Promenade on Front. It continues through August, where they've actually transformed a section of Front Street between Elgin and Dundas into a pedestrian-only zone with entertainment and outdoor patio. So you can continue to enjoy that in Trenton. So that was going on there in Quinte West. But as I said, right off the hop, here in Belleville was the return of Empire Rockfest. And again, over the weekend, saw a lot of pictures cropping up. Knew a few people who went to check out TLC and Jenny Bergeron the first night. Hugh Dillon from Yellowstone was part of the Headstones on the Friday night performing, and then it wrapped up on Saturday with Glorious Sons, setting another precedent. Another record number of people in attendance to catch them wrap it up Saturday night. So we had to catch up with Andy Forgie and get all the details.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, Charity. How are you doing?
I'm good. Are you awake?
I'm sort of awake, yes. I have a coffee on the go, and I'm upright.
You managed to get some sleep?
Yes, I did, yeah. Actually, it was kind of funny last night. the little trio that I play with, just a fun little trio. We were playing at Fraser Park in Trenton, and
so not only did you have 3 nights of rock and roll in downtown Belleville, you then took to the stage yourself last night to wrap up the weekend.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh my gosh, Andy! What a weekend, though.
Oh yeah, just great, phenomenal. Again, the Glorious Sons tied their own records, so it's just really interesting. We've got, let's see, our top 5. Do you want to hear our top 5?
I do want to hear the top 5.
Okay, so here we go. I'll start from 5.
Okay.
Okay, Journey.
Yep.
4, Boston.
Oh yeah.
3, Meatloaf.
Oh, 3.
2,
okay.
2, Glorious Sons. 1, Glorious Sons. That's a pretty impressive list.
That's incredible. And I was wondering that because I know Glorious Sons, they set the record back in, 2019 was the last Empire.
18, correct.
18. Okay. The last Empire Rockfest. I wondered if that was going to be the case again this year. Yeah. I knew people wanted to get out, and I knew people wanted Empire Rockfest to return, but they surpassed it.
Oh yeah. It was a wonderful weekend. It was a gradual build from night 1 to 2 to 3, and which was kind of nice because it gave our staff and volunteers who, let's face it, have not faced that kind of a tidal wave in a long time, get them ready and pumped as they start to go from one night to the next. And so it really kind of worked out very well when all was said and done.
Well, I saw some of the photos that you put up through the Empire Theater Facebook page. It looks like it was an incredible time. Can you kind of give us some of the backstage stories? Like what was going on behind the curtain?
Just to go back to the night 1 on a Thursday with TLC and 112 and Jenny Bergman from Mesa Base. We were somewhat stepping out of our comfort zone with regards to, we've never presented an evening of 90s retro hip hop dance music.
Yeah.
And we've had people over the years who have asked about that, and so the opportunity presented itself, and we thought this would be really kind of a neat new thing to present for Rockfest, and so it was received really, really well. The people were wonderful. I can't say enough about the artists and how nice they were. I mean, we're talking artists who have sold gazillions of records and who are really very, very successful. And in the case of TLC, the headliners, I mean, they had just recently come back from June. They were headlining in Glastonbury Festival in England, which is one of the premier music festivals in the world, in front of, 200,000 people, and here they were in downtown Belleville.
Awesome.
and sometimes you wonder, I wonder if they will, think this is, sort of beneath them or whatever the case might be. And no, not at all. Not at all. They were thrilled by their reception and thrilled with how nice they were treated by our staff, and they just thought Belleville was just a little oasis, and they loved it, and they loved the fact that they could look up at the water tower and see Belleville and the steeple of St. Martin's Church. They thought they were in a little kind of, a little sort of fairyland, and it was beautiful.
Well, that's great. And Hugh Dillon, of course, from Yellowstone. We were talking about that, but that was there any mention of Yellowstone with him? Did you have any conversations? I know he was great on stage, but...
He didn't go there.
Okay.
But he did tell some great stories about... so his band has been going for a long time, since the early 80s, and hardcore punk rock band. And he was recalling a story about how he and his band had come to Belleville. Of course, he referred to it as Bell Vegas, and he would refer to it many times as Bell Vegas. And he talked about how the first time he came to town, they were playing somewhere, and I don't really know what the establishment was, but they were getting $150 in a box of beer. And he said, we got the box of beer, but we didn't get the $150. And he was was just telling some great stories, and he was really relating to the people and who remembered the band. And he didn't necessarily go into his acting career or anything of that, but there was no question that crowd was split between two people who remember the headstones and are really big fans of the band, and other people who were just there to see the guy from Yellowstone and from Mayor of Kingstown.
Well, but new fans too. They see him perform, and now they love him even more.
Everybody was mesmerized. It was like, I don't know. It was like going 15 rounds with Mike Tyson or something. I don't even know what to say. It was everybody was just knocked out.
And then, of course, we had the chance to speak with Jake Clemens last week, who was part of Saturday Night's show leading into Glorious Sons. Yeah, what a great chat with him. Like, what a great guy.
He's so sweet, and he's so talented. And, this fella that we all saw on Saturday night open the show, in 1 year's time, or even less than 1 year's time, he's going to be, in 2003, touring the entire globe for a year and then some, playing with Bruce Springsteen.
I know. It's amazing.
And in those shows, for what that's worth, he's going to be performing in gigantic football stadiums and soccer stadiums all around the world. And here he is again. Yeah. In downtown Belleville.
I know. And again, that's what's so great about Empire Rockfest. And I'm so glad it's back, because we've seen these bands and these groups come to town that, perform in these huge stadiums, and to come to Belleville and not to knock it at all. We have a great theater here for them to perform in, but to have them right here in our own backyard. Kudos to you and Mark and everyone who brought it back.
Say, this is Mark's baby. I just hold his coat. He's a wonder, and he's fearless, and he tackles these things when no one else would even dream of doing such a thing. And I would like to give a really nice shout out to our incredible staff at the Empire, and to the incredible volunteer team, the VIQ, to our security guards who were just wonderful and very, very professional and very, very good to work with. And a special shout out to good old Burger Revolution, who kept everybody fed.
Now, has the talk started already for next year?
Well, there's certainly talk.
Yeah.
There's talk. There's always talk in this business. You don't flip a switch and turn it off. So there's always talk, and but right now we're just going to sit back for a moment and breathe. And
I was going to say, maybe take the day and just relax today.
Exactly. Just take it in, and a little pat on the back for ourselves.
Absolutely.
That, we actually did it, because it was, as you'd mentioned, the last Rockfest was 2018. And official Rockfest, we did do our show last September, which we called the Welcome Back Show, with radio and All You Need Is Love. But that was on a smaller scale. It was not the same. And so when it comes to Rockfest, it is an animal all to itself, and it's sometimes a little intimidating, and we can't be all things to all people, but we try our best. And just thank you to everyone who came out and bought a ticket to support the return of live music, and right here in good old downtown.
For sure. And it was incredible. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you.
And looking forward to...
Thank you guys for all your support in helping us bang the drum, because, again, without the help of yourselves and all the members of the media, nobody's going to know about it.
I think they'd know about this.
Maybe.
Very much looking forward to next year. Again, thanks so much, Andy.
Thank you, Charity, for everything.
So again, great to have that back. And it's not going to end there. Another great weekend here in Quinte, but it's just going to continue as we have new events introduced to us, and our favorites like Empire Rockfest returning. In fact, coming up this weekend, now people are gearing up for the Rotary Loves Kids Golf Tournament and Party in the Park, which will be taking place in Westwicks Park. In fact, David Allen from Rotary will be joining us later this week to talk about that. So we'll have him on the podcast on the way. Probably Thursday we'll have him on. But lots still to come this summer and, of course, this week. Looking forward to sharing it all with you. You've been listening to the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Wherever you find your favorite podcast, be sure to subscribe and get it automatically and listen in to us daily. Love having you along, and be listening tomorrow morning with Mark and Charity Mornings on 95.5 Hits FM. Enjoy your Monday.